Welcome to Season 2 of Producer Points. My name is Justin Gamella, and I'll be your host. I'm a producer and songwriter who's had the honor of working with some of the best in the industry. This season, we're diving even deeper into one-on-one conversations with producers, mixers, songwriters, and artists, exploring their unique journeys, creative process, and insights that shape great music. Join me for real talks, straight from the studio, where music and life intersect. This is Producer Points. Today on Producer Points, we're sitting down with a producer and songwriter whose influence has been both pioneering and enduring. As a fellow advocate for creators' rights and an active member of SONA, he's been a strong voice in the fight for songwriter equity and transparency in the music industry. His band, HOLYCHILD, emerged as a trailblazing force in the indie pop scene, helping shape the bold, left-to-center pop sound that's become so dominant today. This year marks the 10th anniversary of their debut album, The Shape of Brat Pop to Come, a record that still sounds like it could have been made 10 years from now, not a decade ago. Since then, he's continued pushing boundaries behind the scenes as a producer and songwriter, helping artists tap into something bold, unexpected, and often ahead of their time. Join me in welcoming Louie Diller.
Oh man,
dude!
Thank you for having me.
Of
I need
course.
that in like my. I need to make a website first off.
There you
But
go.
like,
I'll just send you this.
I need that in my like ego boost every day. Thank you, dude.
Yeah. So for our listeners, Louie and I are recent friends. We actually met. We met at like the SONA dinner,
Dude,
right?
yeah,
Like at the
2
SONA
years ago?
Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this past one I was in Italy for. So the one before that,
Nice.
we met. We sat next to each other. We became fast friends. We have so many mutual friends.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell you then. This is like kind of a confession. Like obviously I knew the band.
Yeah.
From years ago, but I was at, I don't know if it was your EP or your album release show.
Sick.
This was years ago.
Maybe you told me this.
Yeah, maybe I
Yeah.
did. And
Dang.
like, it was like the one where like you had, I don't know if you guys always had the background singers, but like,
Oh, that was a good band.
yeah, that band. And
band.
like, I hadn't moved to LA yet, and
Cool.
I was in my band, and I watched your guys' set, and I was
Sick.
just like, oh, I need to step it up.
Fun.
It was, I mean, dude,
Great.
it was like, I
Thanks.
remember that show. It was like a very like core memory for me for like my
Cool.
music industry journey when I was in my
Great.
band. It was like, I don't know, you guys set a really high bar,
Sick.
and I thought it was like really, really great.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's videos of that show somewhere.
That
on
was
the
a good
internet.
band, dude.
Yeah.
That, you know, there's been different live arrangements over
Yeah.
the years, and that was one of my favorite. That felt like when I've been in bands like that, whether it's my own band or other bands, it felt like a freight train.
Yeah.
Like you walk into any venue and you're just like, we're just gonna just like this band. There were so many heavy hitters. Like one of the background singers was Sam Fisher,
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
like gone on to do his
He's
thing.
doing his own thing now. Crazy.
Kenton Chen, who's like singing backups with Katy Perry,
Yeah.
and he's like, I feel like kind of like a local legend. But,
Yeah.
like everyone needs to know about Kenton Chen.
But it was just like a thing where it's like no one, even to this day, like, because it's expensive,
Yes.
but it's like no one's doing like background singers. And I think it's like such a vibe.
It's such, especially for like pop music like
Yeah.
that, where it's like the big choruses,
Yeah.
tons of background. You know, I think we probably had backgrounds in the tracks too. It
You-
was just like
yeah.
everything, like just kind of like more is more maximalist.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, background, especially when you have like legit background singers, not like maybe people that are there trying. Like I'll do backgrounds, but I'm not like Sam Fisher
Yeah,
or Kenton
you're-
Chen. Like those are like proper
Yeah,
singers.
those are-
They make everybody sound good. It makes
Yeah.
the whole thing just more fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
So-
only that, but it's also like Liz was dancing, and the background singers were dancing too. And it's like there's just so much more to look at.
Right. I feel like, I mean, maybe there's something like classic about that. It's like maybe from
No,
like
it is
the
classic.
Motown
Yeah.
days or something that you like can't go wrong. Or like James Brown. If you look at James Brown's
Yes.
band, like obviously I'm not comparing myself,
No.
but like I'm inspired by that. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
I-
that's what they do.
I think it's like there's times where it's like, you know what? For some of these like pop singers who like do, you know, more poppy stuff, it's like I'd rather see you with like a drummer and some background singers than like a drummer and a guitarist and a bassist that like absolutely don't need to be there.
Oh, dude, because like
It's-
mid range
Yep.
just kind of gets lost
Yeah.
in a live show, unless you know I do like me like a solo here or there, guitar,
Yeah.
that definitely can help. But like you know, in like the kind of pop music I like to make, or like that HOLYCHILD was and is live, it's just like it's like heavy bass. And I think it's also like a visual thing,
Yeah.
like with drums, like you see the strike, you hear it, and you're like, oh, okay, that's happening. With
Mhm.
vocals, you see the people singing,
Yes.
you hear it, and it's all that. And like I noticed this when I was playing keys in that band, like.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't know if anyone knows what the hell I'm
Yeah.
doing. Because we would have some tracks going too, but it kind
They
of gets
don't
lost.
dude, I was in the same way in my band because I was switching between guitar and keys. I'm like, I don't even know if people think I'm actually playing.
Right.
And I was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like, yeah, like that's the set, especially like 2015-ish and like to now, it's like there's so many tracks in the backing tracks. Because like now, if you don't do that, everything sounds empty.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
it's like, again, it's just kind of like become like using autotune. It's like everyone using it. And if you don't, it's
Yeah.
like sounds weird
Yeah.
in pop music, not
Yeah.
all music.
Right, right, right.
But yeah, man, I just remembered
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
just
cool.
wanted to give you that compliment. Like that
Appreciate
live
it, dude.
show
Yeah, yeah.
was really, really great. But we're going to talk about all of this right now because every podcast starts with how our guests got their start in music.
Love it.
And so tell me, where did it all start for you?
Let's go, dude. Oakland, California. Oakland Coliseum. 1994.
Okay.
My parents took me to the Rolling Stones Beaches of Babylon tour.
At like 5 years old?
I was fucking. I can swear.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
5.
Yeah.
My parents, they're awesome. They took me and I fell in love. Dude, I'll never forget to this day. Like the lights go dark and then there's this huge, massive explosion on the stadium screen and Mick Jagger appears and I'm just like, bro, like that's what I want to do. Like this is so fun. This is so exciting. My parents then, I credit a lot of like the beginning to them because they would bring me and my older brother to just so many different shows, rock shows, jazz shows, classical. Half of it I fell asleep in. I didn't like. But the other half I kind of like. I like the. I'm a big Thelonious Monk fan. I love me a lot of like Aaron Copland, classical music. I could go on and so on and so forth. And so their CD collection too back in the 90s was deep and eclectic. And so then through elementary school, I went through that and kind of consumed all of their CD collections. So by the time I started playing like piano and trumpet, I felt like music just came pretty easy. I feel like I'd done so much listening, like maybe 10,000 hours of listening where I felt like it was just like my like refuge. Like not only just listening, but my dad, he has kind of weird, freaky, perfect pitch. He's kind of like, he's like
you had like a little bit of the music gene in you already.
I think so. And apparently like, his like great granddad was this ripping violinist. And so my dad's a doctor. And so he's always like, how did you get into music? I'm like, bro, like I can play and I have relative pitch, but I can do the whole thing. And he's like, oh, that's a C. I'm like, fuck off, dude. Like, how do you know that? And then he would also, he's an audiophile unto himself. So he would spend like too much money on nice hi-fi speakers. And so that's how I got into production, man. Was like putting on the Beatles records, like the later ones in particular, and being like, this shit sounds insane. And like I could be able to tell the difference too between the early ones and the later ones. And then like putting on some other records by, like some earlier Stone stuff too was like super, it's a vibe, but it's not like that polished, like later Stones, but it's obviously like the George Martin, like we all know that stuff. So
it's just, it's incredible how those records, especially when they're doing some of the remixing lately, how it's just like, oh my God. Like, this was such good engineering.
I know.
And like,
I know.
Such good playing. It all holds up.
Yes.
So much. It's kind of insane.
Dude, insane. So so that was like elementary. My older brother got a drum kit. I was playing trumpet at the time. Heard him play some drums. I had other friends playing drums too. So then picked up drums and then dude, we got to talk about like my high school band and like the Bay Area music scene. It was this like beautiful pre-internet scene. I say pre-internet too because there's this iconic venue. I don't know if Petra told you about it called iMusicCast in Oakland.
No, he didn't. Yeah,
in all ages. It's kind of like a Chain Reaction.
Okay,
I don't know if you know about Chain Reaction in Orange County. These all ages clubs where like anyone in high school you could go, and it was just like a beautiful like alternative scene in the Bay Area where a lot of bands like Plain White, a lot of like Warped Tour bands came through there.
Was this like the Pure Volume era of music?
Pure Volume for sure.
Yeah, like
for sure.
What a website.
Eric Frederick, Wallpaper,
Yep.
cut his teeth at this venue.
Yeah.
Dude, so many cats. Like that, his whole crew, Tom Payton, Toby Wincorn, like we all, they're a little bit older than me. So when I'm like a few years younger, so I would see them and the other bands in their generation play. Yeah. And, a lot of them were signing record deals too. So like growing up in the Bay Area, I was like, oh, this can be like a thing. Like this isn't just like a pipe dream. Like this can actually be your job.
Dude, it's so funny you bringing that up because I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast yet either. But there was a very similar thing happening on Long Island.
Beautiful.
And it was weird, but like it was like these like temple shows. This
Cool.
temple
Cool.
had, like, a
Yeah.
really cool, like, auditorium that had, like, 2 stages set up, and basically, like, it was a bunch of and there was really incredible like, Dan Nigro's band was playing
Yes.
at these,
That
like,
makes
places, and there's, like,
sense.
a bunch of other guys
Sick.
from the Long Island music scene that were,
Yeah.
like, playing at these shows, like, all ages shows, and it was such an amazing community. I'm, like, friends with some of those guys in those bands, like, still to
Great.
this day,
Great.
and, like, this a lot of them are, like, success I mean, clearly Dan is super successful, and, like, there's a
Yeah.
bunch of other ones that are doing the thing, but it's just, like, wild how, like, it was talent begets talent because you see each other and you're like, "Oh, they can do it, and they're just normal guys, and I can do it."
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And, there must be something too about that that proximity to a big
Yes.
city where you can kinda go in, then go out,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and it just like it's like a hub of creativity and all that stuff. So, yeah, coming up in that scene was crucial because me and Petro,
Right.
Petro, we started our middle school band. I mean, we were, so I started, our middle school band was essentially a Rage Against the Machine cover band
Yeah,
called
for our listeners, talking about Petro AP, who was a guest on last
Yes,
year.
let's go. And the band was called Homeland Insecurity.
Yeah.
And so that dude, Petro and I, we're like brothers. I mean,
Yeah.
we're like family. We go way back. And then we started writing our own songs, and then that high school band wound up touring, dude. And I mean, we were all just like super serious. This was like
Yeah.
our like we played South by Southwest when I was like 15, 16, and when we were
That's
like
nuts.
juniors in high school.
Yeah.
This like awesome San Francisco label like flew us out, or like they invited us. I don't know. Somehow we got there. Our parents like chaperoned us because we weren't
Yeah, you
18
weren't,
yet.
yeah.
So we had a couple parents come out, but they wound up kind of fucking off and getting drunk themselves. And
great.
we were just partying on 6th Street. It was just this beautiful like time at South by Southwest in
Yeah.
Austin then. And then that high school band wound up working a lot with Toby Wincorn
Yeah.
and another rad producer in LA named Johnny Genius. And they started this album that we made, and then we finished it with this other producer down here in LA named Matt Radosevich. Matt
Yeah.
Rad?
Matt Rad, yes.
Matt Rad. Cool. And so working with Matt Rad at this amazing, incredible studio in Hollywood called Barefoot Recording.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
know Barrett, yeah.
you know, it's no longer here.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Eric Valentine
Yeah.
spot. That's where I learned about making a record.
Yeah.
Was watching Matt Rad.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, this is how like the sausage is made. Like this is fucking it. You know, that band fell apart for all sorts of reasons, but we're all still friends and family.
It's mostly high school boys, just like, not, it is what it is.
Yeah. Like, you know, everything was kind of fizzling out. And so we all went to college. And then in college, I met Liz from HOLYCHILD. And it was really like in DC, I got a laptop in my dorm room.
Yeah.
Where I was just like a laptop kid on Logic.
Yeah.
And that's when I feel like taking my experiences with Dizzy Balloon and Matt Rad and then applying it to HOLYCHILD
Right.
that spawned the whole that kind of spawned my 20s and did the whole HOLYCHILD thing, toured around the world, signed with Glass Note Records, you know, still getting like syncs and stuff. The 10 year, as you said, is coming
Yeah.
up. We're about to put out a handful. This is coming out around.
I'm gonna try and do it after it's done. Like I have this
Great.
one coming out in like probably September. So.
Okay, sick. Yeah, okay. So this will be old news then by then. But yeah, we're putting out some unreleased tracks from that G era
Sick, I
on
love
the
that.
deluxe for like a deluxe 10-year anniversary edition. And then I feel like from that HOLYCHILD experience, people have just called me up to make records and collaborate with them, whether it's like songwriting, producing. I do some mixing too. My room is like
there you go.
very dialed. Like
Yeah.
I do feel confident and comfortable doing all of that. Like I don't like mastering. I guess like my setup is I
think
could.
it's good to have it separate.
Absolutely. Even
Yeah.
everything. Like
Yeah.
even mix. I actually like to mix.
Yeah. But mixing your own records, I feel like, is such a different thing.
Yeah, bro. Like even opening up these like, because I'm like I'm making even like tweaks on these unreleased tracks,
Yeah.
and I'm like, it's so nice to have like 5-10 years on it
Yeah.
to come back to be like, own your own stuff. Yeah, I think like. Just even though I feel confident in pretty much every stage of the process, it does just because you can't doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
You know,
I
like-
think there's so much value. Like, I am very adamant about when I'm producing out a record or an album or whatever, and they're like, oh, this sounds great. Like, why don't you just mix it? And it's like, well, like, no, I think we can like get it that extra 10% if someone who hasn't been sitting with it for a month can like go in and like just with fresh ears be like, oh, here's your problems, and I'm just gonna clean it up for you.
Yeah.
And like, funny enough, my guy is another, the other guy who you know really well,
Yeah.
Yanni.
Yes.
Yanni is my main mixer
Love.
for the most part, and I just like I value that, and it's funny too. I like mixed my first record like last week where it's like, I'm not a mixer. I do not want to be a mixer.
Yeah.
But like I did a vocal production for someone and they were like, "Oh, this sounds so good. Like,
Yeah.
would you mind like taking a swing at like mixing the whole
Yeah.
thing?" And I was like, I guess I'm not
Yeah.
making any guarantees.
Yeah.
But they were like really happy with it. And I was like, oh, like I guess I can when I haven't been producing this.
Yeah.
I can just like go in and like kind of click. Again, I have fresh
Yeah.
ears
Yeah. Yeah.
and like hear where there might be problems.
So
And
my problem, how I got into mixing was I was just so I was such a either micromanager or anal. I just so fucking knew what I wanted when I was
yeah,
working with amazing, incredible other mix engineers that I just got tired of fucking driving them crazy. I
yeah,
was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking do it myself. Like I'm
yeah.
like you guys are really nice, you're really talented, but like I don't want to do this to continue
But
doing this,
what
people.
are you working? Are you working in Logic,
Logic,
Ableton?
logic,
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the problem sometimes too.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because, and correct me if I'm wrong,
yeah,
but like when you're in Logic, like I'm sure you're doing stuff on the mix bus and the drum
yeah,
bus and
yeah.
stuff. And it's like when you're sending stems, you can only get so much of that information through.
Yeah, that's always a thing.
Yeah.
It's always I mean, I feel like I have the data transfer process, like, pretty down, but
Yeah. What's the
yeah.
process, even for our listeners? Like what,
Oh, yeah, I usually I do it the slow snail way
yeah.
just to because sometimes when you try to do it the fast way, when you just do, like, the export
Yeah.
all stems, like, you can lose weird shit, so
Mm.
I usually will just bounce down, like, individual
Like
stems and
through the mix bus and everything to hit it or just like,
yeah, usually I'll give some options, like a
yeah.
dry and wet, so depending on what's going on, I
Yeah.
usually, like, take off master limit
Yeah.
usually
You
master
usually want to take
limiting.
off the limiter,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. But yeah, I just kind of sit there and I've found that to be the most one to one.
right.
But yeah, there's always like yeah, the data transfer process is annoying.
Yeah. I think it, cause I'm the same way. Like I'm taking my mixes to a certain point
Yeah,
where it's like, all
yeah,
right, this is like, I'm very happy with this. I
yeah,
just want you to like give it as a mixer. I just want you to give it
yeah.
a little bit more depth, a little bit more clarity, and
Division
like a
of
little bit
labor, dude.
louder. Yeah. That's all I'm
It's
looking for
probably
in a
gonna make
mix.
it better.
Yeah.
Like if you're working with talented people,
Yes.
it's probably gonna make it that 5-10%, and then you're mastering
Right.
3 to 5%
Yep.
better.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
I like, and I love working with great mastering engineers where they
of
just like do a
course.
thing. You're like, damn it. I
Yeah,
don't know what you did,
I
but
know.
it's,
But I think so. Here's the thing: like, like I was like anal retentive on my mixes so
yeah.
much so that I just was just like, I'm just gonna give it a crack. And now I feel comfortable. I feel as comfortable doing it myself as I do passing it off. Like
Yeah.
as I said, like maybe would rather pass it off, but if I gotta do it myself, I'll do it myself. And
Did you mix the Holy Child stuff?
a lot of Holy Child stuff I did.
Yeah.
But Kean Riordan
Okay.
mixed the debut album.
Okay.
And he's one of these guys who's so
He's-
talented. He's been crushing with St. Vincent of late.
Yeah.
And learned so much from him just watching him do his thing. And I think also maybe coming up in like the barefoot world, watching even like observing Eric Valentine or knowing about his process because Eric Valentine's another like freak who like
I'm like such a fan. I watch like so many of his videos because I'm just such a fan.
of course
Yeah.
and he's a dude who can do everything.
Yep.
And so I think just coming up watching that I was inspired by his flow and as I said I do feel comfortable and confident but like the more I do this the more I'm just like just because you can maybe it doesn't mean you should.
Yes.
And like even observing other people kind of in my boat like the Kevin Parkers and stuff or like Trent Reznor's who like they're I feel like that like they all like were like us multi-instrumentalist people who like
They
are
can do it all.
overachievers and probably like
Right.
learning too much doing too much. It's like I don't know. I'm definitely settling more into a division of labor state of just like it's just gonna like pass this off as much as I can. Like
Yeah.
I just did a record the other day at 64 Sound. Have you done 64 Sound
No,
in
no, I
Highland Park?
haven't. No.
Oh, it's just super dope. It kind of reminds me of Barefoot Recording. It's like it's a playground of just instruments,
Love that.
toys, and
Yeah.
everything sounds great. And they have an old school console. It's a very old school. It's this like punk rock band I've been working with called Make Believe Love, who are fucking incredible. But it's like it's good for like live bands
Yeah.
and stuff. And it was all in Pro Tools. Just passed it off to this guy Kian. It was just so nice to like do a record like that where like yeah you have like proper division of labor.
I know. I would love to eventually do like, I haven't worked with that many bands. I work with a
Yeah.
lot of artists, and
Yeah.
like I eventually would love to like work with like a band and like go in a studio and
Dude.
like get in with like really great engineers who know
Yes.
what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Like my engineering, it's like I get great sounds, but
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Right.
yeah,
Hacking
sure.
it out. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, like, I'm trusting my ear, which is also like it's my taste.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I like warmer, darker sounds.
Yeah,
That's what I
tight.
kind of gravitate towards. This ribbon, that AEA one, I forget what it is, but it's their
Right.
stereo ribbon one. It's like it's actually for a ribbon, it's bright.
Okay.
And it's like how I describe it, it's like it just it's kind of like it's like the closest thing to ears, I feel like.
Oh,
Where it's like
cool.
whatever's
Dang.
happening in the room, it just like that's just what it sounds like.
Beautiful.
It doesn't color it in a way.
Huh. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like I know about this mic. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and,
yeah.
like, I use it whenever I record drums, I use it on piano a lot.
Sick. Hey, you'll have to
Yeah.
show me it
Yeah, yeah, I know,
after.
it's all tucked away because it's, like, it's so giant,
Right, right, right,
but
right.
it's really, really cool.
So,
Um,
yeah, dude, yeah, my studio, I got my drums all patched and good to go.
would love
It's a
that.
whole thing. It's
Yeah,
really nice to
yeah.
have. It's really nice to be able to do live drums.
Yeah,
So,
what's the drum setup you got going on?
so I have like a rotating cast of like Yamaha pearls and like this like vintage Japanese kit. So, depending on
Sick.
the record,
Yeah.
I'm like pulling out whatever. Oh man, cymbals are. I mean, I guess we don't need to make this a whole drum
No,
podcast,
no,
but
we can talk about it.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
dude, like, I think the best part of your productions are your drums.
Yeah, I
So,
just come from drum
yeah.
world, and I love like,
Look,
those
you can even see, look, drum talk.
great.
That's not on every
There
podcast,
there we
so
go. Let's get in it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so cymbals, dude, I'm just like not like
Well, even on the
everything from
engineering side, like, what mics do
yeah,
you gravitate towards
yeah.
for, like, overheads and stuff?
Oh man, dude, so my mic setup is not that's one thing I want to improve upon.
Yeah,
Shure sent me their like they endorsed me like years ago, sent me
sick.
their package. So I just got the one. That's the other thing. I'm so bad at remembering names.
Whatever,
The
but there's the
81s.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
nice.
like
They're actually
like the mic pack that they send for
the mic
drums a lot,
pack. Yeah,
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 yeah. So I got 80. I mean, actually, they sent me a really nice mic pack.
yeah,
So I mean, for the Shores, they're not like the most bougie, but they do the. I don't have any like bougie mics on my drums. It's
yeah.
more what I think how my drum setup hangs and competes is the room sounds great,
Yes.
the drums sound
I mean,
great,
that is 90% of drumming, in
and
my
I know how to
opinion.
play drums.
Yeah,
And
yes.
and I feel like, yeah, to your point, like it's kind of like recording vocals. Like, how do your vocals sound so good? It's like, yeah, the mic and the chain's great, but like the singer is sick as shit, and the room sounds
No, for drums, the room
yeah,
is the most
room.
important part because
Hmm.
it like at that point then like just sample replace and
Yeah,
like use your
yeah,
hi-hat.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just if the room doesn't sound good, it's kind of pointless in my
What are we doing
opinion.
here? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
Want.
know. I'm due for when it comes to there are some mics. Shout out, do you know Loughton
Yes,
Audio?
yeah, they make great
Yeah, so
stuff.
I splurged. That's like my main vocal jam is their
Yeah,
like Eden mic,
yeah,
whatever, and it's fucking. I did a shootout with that versus in a 4767,
yeah,
and the Loughton one won. And I was like,
yeah.
sick, I'll take that.
No, I've heard great things about it. I have a
Yeah,
Flea 47 over here that I'm in love with. That
yeah,
like
but they make some drum mics that's on my radar where I'm
yeah,
like, oh, I like a snare mic in particular that I'm like, and I need to get the FET 47 for my kick out. There are all these that's coming up on the endless gear
yeah.
list.
Sticking to drums, not even
Yeah,
live drums, but I just love how you approach drum programming.
thank you.
And, it seems like I don't know if you spend hours on the pocket of your drum that you're just playing it in, but what's kind of your approach to like creating those really unique choices that you're going with?
Man, a lot of it's just off the cuff,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
I mean, that's what it sounds like in the best way.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of it, I'm just kind of playing like how I would like play it on a kit.
Yeah.
I'm
Are you like playing it in on like keyboard or something?
keyboards,
Yeah.
pads,
Yeah.
like maybe like I have the Arturia MIDI controllers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll usually on some combo of pad and MIDI controller.
And are you putting in like battery or you're using like Logic's
A lot of
sampler?
Logic, and then I have sample packs from
Right.
like over the years.
Yeah, you just
I'll create
collect.
my own sample kits.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I've gone down the Oliver Splice sample
Of
pack
course.
train, and then other like random ones over the years. But dude, I mean the Logic's kits like are such
They're
dope
very
starting
good.
points.
Yeah, they're
Like
great.
they're great for usually I feel like a Logic is a good starting point kind of in general.
Oh, yeah.
So, but like the MIDI drums they have on there, I'll definitely go hard on. And yeah, I don't even know, like there's no like secret. It's just so like off the cuff. I mean, like I feel like drums in most like modern pop music to me it's like drums and vocals.
Yeah.
Like as I
That's
was saying
that's
kind
what
of
pop music is. Yeah.
about the live show. It's
Yeah.
like drums and vocals. It's like that's what people. I mean, we talked about live show, but
Yeah.
even on a record, it's like snare and vocal. It's like if the snare and
If
vocal aren't right,
if you're
shit ain't right.
it's like snare, kick, and vocal. If
Yeah.
those three elements aren't right, like your song's rude and like everything else is kind of like it's filling up space. And
Yeah.
like you don't have to go as crazy on it. Or like I mean, like whenever I'm mixing stuff, it's like I'll say four things in modern mixes. It's the kick, snare, and whatever my bass or sub bass is doing.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
those and vocal, right? And if
Yeah.
those 3, 4 elements
Yeah.
don't feel right, and kick and bass you can kind of put in one category
Right.
almost, right? And to me, like that's what that's what modern mixing is. It's like this like super present, sick low end,
Yeah.
and like a great vocal and a snare that like cuts through just enough.
Yeah, yep,
And
yeah.
and,
I
and
probably growing up with like hip hop in the Bay Area or
yeah,
something, or just like loving all the or early 2000s Pharrell and Timbaland.
yeah,
Like, come on, like those drums are
they're
crazy,
so
and
good.
it's like so like I mean Timbaland's productions can get busier, but maybe some of my favorite ones. Everything's still so choice, it's so judicious.
They're
Like,
busy, but they're still minimal in a way.
yeah, right.
There's
Definitely
like not.
Pharrell.
Oh
Pharrell is like
yeah,
everything's like perfect back in that day. Like
yes,
everything. And Dr. Oh my god, like growing up with
yeah,
Dr. Dre and like the West Coast hip hop thing,
yep.
like, and those records sounded incredible too. Like,
They still hold
they
up, which
still
is
hold
incredible.
up.
Which is
They still
incredible.
hold up. Like,
Like it's just crazy, like how like Dre's records have that, and he was mixing them too. They
yeah,
had that like
yeah,
punch
yeah.
and stuff, and
You
it's
got to
just
shout out to Mike Elizondo
oh
though,
yeah, oh dude,
who's integral on especially as a 2001. I mean, his last big album, Dre's last big album, where it's like Mike Elizondo like performing all that stuff, and like it's like so tasty. That dude's
dude,
a freak too.
he's
Holy fuck,
so good. I mean, now he's like
he's a
making
freak.
so much money doing like Disney shit
Yeah,
and like working with Lin-Manuel and shit, and
yeah.
but man, he's
He
such
still does like
no, he still does music like
yeah, he does. He
yeah,
worked like a Madison Cunningham
yeah.
record.
He's I mean
Where
he's
I was
still I
like,
mean
that's awesome.
the guy is just crazy. He's someone
Yeah,
who I would love to have on the podcast
you
eventually.
should,
And
dude.
I mean, it's not up to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we're getting
uh,
there. We're all working,
we'll
chipping away.
exactly. We'll get to him.
Yeah,
Wanted to talk about kind of the process more on the engineering producing side, where like
yeah,
once you kind of pick all your sounds right, figure out your grooves,
yeah.
and you're in Logic. Are you kind of attacking getting the mix right at a drum level, like each specific thing? Do you like to put them through a drum bus? What's kind of your process there?
Oh, good question. I have very little like mix bus processing going on. Maybe I just have like a limiter.
I'm talking about even like if you do
Oh,
like
on the
drum bus.
drum bussing.
Yeah.
No, when I'm building a track, no, I
Uh,
don't got shit on. Like I like to keep it pretty raw because I don't like to push the computer hard, and I'd rather push the computer hard with tracks that I'm building, MIDI tracks,
right.
soft synths, live audio, whatever
Right.
it be. I just want to have all my DSP be
Go
freed
for
up
that.
for me
Yeah.
to like input few hundred tracks
Yeah.
and be able to work. And obviously, I just got the new Mac Mini the other day, and it
Dude, it's
rips,
incredible. I have an
rips.
M1 laptop,
Yeah,
and it's like I don't see the need to get a new one yet because
yeah.
like these processors are just
Yeah,
insane.
I know. It's
It's
so dope.
yeah.
And like, we're all waiting to find out how this AI thing plays out.
Yeah.
So whatever. That's a whole other can
Who
of worms.
knows?
But for now, for here, it's really fun. I mean, maybe I will go harder on the drums bus processing, but when I'm tracking in tracking mode, no, I like that you usually have it pretty raw. And just like you were just talking about it maybe before we started the podcast. Or were you? I can't remember. Just getting the best audio coming in.
Yeah, no, we were talking about
You know?
before. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like picking really great sounds or recording really great sounds, and
Yeah.
then it's like once you're in the box here, it's just like, oh, I don't have to do that much. I can just kind of be hands off
Right.
and just like place things and good sound choices. It was funny. I talked about it. We recorded a roundtable last night. It was like about perfectionism and like trying to get over it.
Yes.
And I mentioned in it last night that I'm actually on like my own imperfection journey right
Love it.
now,
Good.
where for so long I was like heavy mix bus, like heavy kind of everything just because my computer can do it. And then I've been really into watching like the most recent like Mix with the Masters. They've been getting like great records on there.
Cool.
And they've been like they've put on they've done like a couple of like my favorite records.
Sick.
Like literally, and like this isn't novel, but like they did Good Luck Babe. I fucking love Good Luck Babe.
Yes.
They did the Big Billy song, Birds of a
John.
Feather.
John was on
Yeah,
that,
John.
right? Yeah,
Well, Phineas did it, and then John did a mix on
Sick.
it.
Dope.
And then they also did the big Sabrina Carpenter song that Jack did, Please, Please, Please.
Oh,
Like those were like
yeah.
those three records were in like my top 10 last year.
Yes.
Of like
Yeah,
my favorite
yeah.
records. So the fact that I could like be like, ooh, like
Yeah.
go in there and as a fan, like
Yeah.
see it. And the one thing that I realized from all these producers and mixers is that like they're just making like good choices going in, and it's not like a super heavy mix bus. It's
No.
not a super heavy drum bus.
No.
It's not a super heavy, vocal
Yeah.
bus.
No.
It's just like letting it breathe. And like I'm curious because like I think
Yeah.
the one thing that they're able to get out of that is like a very like transient rich
Cool.
environment. And that's what
Yeah.
I think about your drums,
Cool.
that they're so I don't know, they're not super compressed, and so the
Yeah.
transients are really, like, they make them feel alive and really
Cool.
good.
Yeah.
And would you say, like, is your approach to that, like, you're not relying on transient designers, you're just, like, really, like, letting the drums kind of breathe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't go. I feel like I'm like maybe I'm like kind of punk rock on this shit. Like,
Sounds great, who
dude,
cares?
a lot of my philosophy, dude, just like kind of like see ball, hit ball,
Yeah.
like, like, and especially when I'm making stuff, like when I'm in post production. I'm definitely get way more nitty gritty with the analysis, but when I'm
Right,
like producing, tracking, like I prefer all the
right.
brains turned off,
Yeah.
and you're just reacting to the sound
Yep.
coming out of the speakers, like. Because again, when you get to post production, you can start A/Bing with other stuff, and I
Yeah.
understand even too before, like if you want to reference stuff when you're writing, like
Yeah.
that's cool. But like I just find my process. Yeah, I mean, I wish I was like more like scientific about it, like,
Yeah.
but a lot of it's just like no, I do care a lot. We were talking about your monitors
Yeah.
before, like I do care a lot about monitoring
Yes.
and just making sure what I'm hearing when I'm doing it is going to
Is right,
translate.
yeah.
Because like I just feel like if it's translating in here, it's going to translate everywhere. If we
Yeah.
need to run it through like 1,000 distressors and whatever, we'll fucking do that. But like
Right.
I'd rather like not. I'd rather just get it right coming
Yeah,
in.
you get it right
And
during the production and recording phase,
yeah,
and
yeah,
not and, like, I used to, like, say, like, it all the time, like, "Yeah, we'll fix it in a mix," and
yeah.
now I do not say that. I'm like, "No, no, 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 we fix it now." Like,
Yes.
we either replace the sound or, like, we try and fix it. It's usually a lot of times, actually, like, if the sound's not working, it's usually just replacing it
Yeah.
and trying to find the
Ex-
sound that does work.
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I feel like I definitely want to always make records that mix themselves,
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that's kind of what I that's the goal. Like so when you get to mixing, whether it's me or someone else, it's like it's fucking there.
Yep.
Whoever's professionally involved like knows what the fuck to do. It's
Yep.
like yeah, just yeah.
Yep.
That's I wish I had more like
No, no,
yeah.
that's just what it is. When you're building out your drums,
Yeah.
are you big on, like, layering your kicks and snares and stuff? Or again, do you like I was saying, like, you just find that sample, you're like, "This is the one."
It's so case by case.
Yeah.
Like I'm not partial.
Yeah.
Like if these 2 3 kicks feel great together, let's fucking do it. We want to make sure the phase is good. We want to
Right.
make sure the EQing is good for sure. But even if like even if they're not phase aligned, and
Right.
even if the EQing's fucked, but it sounds sick, like fuck it,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. Yep.
Fuck. Who cares? Or if you got one kick and snare and they feel great. Like
Yeah.
I don't just like
No,
not
it is
partial.
I think it's, like, a thing that younger producers need to hear and the stuff I
Yeah.
wish I heard where it's like, rules are rules, but they're meant to be broken or they're meant to be ignored if they're meant to be ignored if you're like, "This sounds good to
Right.
me."
And
Mm.
that's so I feel like I come from more musician instrument performance theory. Like
Right.
I actually I got a double major in college,
Ooh.
international affairs and jazz studies. So I'm like quasi learned it in
Yeah.
music. I know enough theory to like
Yeah.
whatever do the
Do that
Dorian
whole
mode or
theory
whatever
thing,
blah
yeah.
blah blah. But I found when I got more into engineering was I would run into the same things with how musicians treat music
Yes.
theory. Like, well, that
Well,
note
we
doesn't
can't
work
do
with
that has
that note.
parallel
And I'm
fifth,
just
we
like,
can't.
bro, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this shit feels good coming out of these speakers. Like, we're gonna rock with that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and the same applies. I've definitely like I feel like I've broken too many rules with engineering and theory, but I'm just like, like I just gotta go where the
Yeah.
spirit's taking us.
Dude, there was this really great book that was really eye-opening for me. Oh, it's gonna bug me that I can't remember what Here, There, and Everywhere, maybe it was called.
Mm,
It was this book by Jeff Emmerich, legendary
yeah,
mixer and producer,
yeah, yeah.
and it was about his time spent with the Beatles.
Sick.
And I think even if you're not a Beatles fan, it's a really great read
Yeah.
because what you take away from it is that it's really funny how studios used to work back in like the 50s and 60s is like the engineers literally wore lab coats
Right. Science. Yeah, for sure.
and they were like, this is how you mic a violin.
Right.
This is how you
Hmm.
mic a vocal.
Yeah.
And this is how you compress it.
Yeah.
And like literally they would get in trouble if they did it
Yeah.
another way.
For sure.
But because the Beatles were the Beatles,
Yeah.
and I think that's why their later records, when they had more quote unquote power,
Right.
is when they started making things that really sounded amazing.
Yeah.
Is because the Beatles were like, well, we want it to sound like this, and like you guys should figure out how to do that.
Right.
And that's when they were able to like quote
Innovation,
unquote
man.
do things that were wrong. Like they were really starting to push the compressors until they would like give them some distortion. They would mic things in ways that you were quote unquote not supposed to do it. And it was such like when I read it like 8 years ago, and I was like, oh, like, fuck everything you learn. It's good to have.
It's good to have.
It's good to have, especially when you're like, someone wants a, classic, violin
Right.
sound, right?
Right.
But the thing that I learned from that is just like, oh yeah, like break the rules, and they're just like kind of trusting their ears, and it was like so
Yeah.
much like John would be like, that sounds great, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, all right, I guess
It's
that's the
technically
sound,
incorrect.
right,
But who gives a fuck?
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, like, I could, that reminds me of like Steely Dan records that are perfect. And like, there are those records, or like, certain jazz musicians or classical musicians that play perfect. And like,
Yeah.
and those genres I feel like are so important for education, and like a
Mhm.
Steely Dan record so important
Yeah.
for engineering education. But like, and I think it's important, as we were saying, to have that basis. I think it does make you a little bit more nimble and flexible.
Yeah.
So you can, if someone wants that, you can do that.
Right.
But I feel like it behooves it, whatever. It's just important to just, or at least for me, like I just like,
No, I think when we're doing pop music and stuff, or when
Yeah.
you're trying to make things that are a little bit different, it's like you have to know the rules to break them. It's the same thing in songwriting, right? Where it's like we all know the Max Martin rules,
yes,
and I think those are there to also be broken, or
Yeah.
they're more there. I like to say it like as like a guide. When you're like, why isn't this pre-chorus working?
yeah.
And you can look at those quote unquote rules and be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's because like
Yeah.
my verse and chorus is starting on the one, and so is the
Right.
pre-chorus.
Mhm.
That's when they're really, really, really good.
Yes.
But if you're going
Yeah.
to use those rules to actively write, I think it's like kind
Yeah,
of dumb.
that's what makes a track, song, and record, but
Yeah.
song, please, please, please,
Yeah.
like just so fucking mind blowing. Like
Yeah.
that fucking what is like? It's like like a major. It's like a flat third modulation.
No, they brought it up 3, and it was like by accident.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah.
It was
That's-
like
I
literally
love
like
that.
in the story
See,
that
I
he
love
said,
that,
he's like, they
dude.
brought it up by
I
accident,
love that.
and they were like, oh, that sounds cool.
It does.
Right. And it does sound cool, and it's super jarring.
It's insane.
And then they go back into, but like, I know a lot of music theory too. It's like music theory, it's such a wrong thing to do.
It's insane.
There's, like,
it's almost
no-
you're a half step away from a tritone.
Right. And it's like, there's no like transitional or passing chord to like help you get there. It just like comes in.
Yeah, yeah. The transition back, I've talked to some, like, maybe
Yeah.
I was like, I won't say who,
Yeah.
but some people were like, oh, it's like a rough transition back. I'm like, well, I appreciate the leaps. The leaps are just like so inspired
Yeah.
and brave.
I've never heard a transition like that. I think that's what makes it exciting.
Answer me this. I was, because I've been talking about this a lot with
Yeah.
Petra. When that song came out, I was like, has there been a Billboard #1 song that had that kind of key change before ever? Like maybe back in like the 70s or something,
No,
like a
because I feel
weird, like
even back
psychedelic or
then,
something.
and it was like they were like doing things. They were still following like music theory a lot of the time.
Right.
Right. They were like really, even like a lot of those Beatles records, they were making beautiful music, but they were like, they made sense theory wise.
Right,
Where you
right.
could look at it and be like, oh, okay, they use that diminished seventh to get to the next
Or like an
chord.
ABBA. Yeah, but ABBA's kind of like what you're talking
Same,
about. Like
yeah.
they did follow more
They
conventional.
followed rules, and I really like. I personally, I'm sure there is. I'm sure someone could find some example, but
Dude.
I'm talking about in pop music.
Yes.
That the fact that it's so jarring. But
Yeah.
it like I mean, listen, I love a lot of the Sabrina records, especially this album, but like that song in particular, when I first heard it, I was like,
Blew my mind.
ooh, this one
Blew
is
my mind.
very, 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 very good.
I felt definitely hit or miss on Jack's
Yeah.
work over the years, but in the last few years, and then with that track, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know what I was feeling about
but
Jack,
I
but
think-
holy shit,
But
like
I
this
think
dude
that's
is
what I
delivered.
appreciate about Jack is that like I'd rather have a producer have like it's how I like to work. I like to take big swings.
Yeah.
And I'd rather like strike out and,
Yeah.
but also get home runs every once in a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
Where it's like I think that's what I'm starting to appreciate about Jack.
Yeah, dude.
Is that like he usually misses so hard in my opinion, or when he hits it right, it's so fucking
Yes.
right.
I've heard too that he's just like the nicest dude.
Yeah,
which
I've
is
only heard
great.
I opened
so-
for Bleachers, and like he
Yeah.
was a very, very nice guy, and
Awesome.
like
I mean, that
Yeah.
accounts for a lot. Like
Yeah.
we could talk about just being a nice person and
Yeah,
treating people the way you want to be
it's
treated.
just
It's just golden rule.
I know it's listen.
Like-
You want I think that's the key to a long career in music. It's honestly it's not being
just-
talented.
yeah.
It's like there's a lot of talented people out there,
Yes.
but like having a long career is just being cool and chill.
Just being a hang.
And did you see that in like all like because Benny Blanco's album just came out and like he's
Same.
everywhere on fucking social media right now.
Yeah.
But like every time I don't know Benny, I've never
Yeah.
met him,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's every video I watch, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Just seems like a cool guy to hang out
Yeah,
with.
dude. I know.
And-
I saw him. I'm a big Eric Andre fan, the
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah.
And the both of them clown around a lot. And I
Yeah.
always appreciate Benny he's just so self-deprecating. Like
Yes.
he's totally down to like I saw him at his
That's just being Jewish.
live show. I guess I know, but I'm a halvesy. I feel like I
Yeah.
know enough Jews too that are way
Yeah.
too uptight,
I know,
just like
yeah.
everybody else. But I'd really appreciate Benny. He, like at Eric Andre's show, he was like literally like,
Yeah.
probably having shit poured on
Yeah.
him, and he was just like clowning around. I was like, that's. I think he's
Yeah.
always kind of been that way, but
No, he has
still,
been, and like from what I know, like people who have worked with him and stuff, they're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, it's a vibe, and there's a reason why.
yeah,
Like, and like a part of that too, right, is having that relaxed atmosphere
yeah,
enables you to write better stuff, I think too.
for sure.
I think that's such
For
a big
sure.
part of it, where it's like you're relaxed, I'm being open, I'm being
Yeah.
chill, and it's like
Yes.
it enables me as an artist to just like be more open to failing
This
and
is,
like
well, that's what I was talking about. Like, I
Yeah.
really value turning off the thinking brain and just reacting. Like,
Yeah,
you're
we're-
fucking, I don't know,
Right.
like playing in a jazz, like playing jazz has
Yeah.
helped me out a lot.
Right.
I feel like in writing, just being
like that
spontaneous,
yeah,
just reacting to
Yeah.
like whatever the fuck is going on. Or like, it kind of reminds me of like, I play a lot of tennis too. Like, if
Yeah.
you can't tell. and it kind of, it's like when I'm playing well and my brain's just turned off, I'm just
Yeah.
react. It's like
You're in
playing a
flow.
sport.
Yeah, you're in
Yeah.
flow.
Right.
You're in flow. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, gang, I just wanted to pop in here to let you know that the best way you can help this podcast grow is to rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. It tells the algorithm to push our show to other listeners so we can grow, and it's one of, if not the best way to help support this podcast. So if you wouldn't mind, take a second to rate this podcast. Sharing it with your friends would be amazing too. All right, back to the pod. Dude, I want to go onto our song deep dive section here.
Hit it.
First song we're going to talk about is your band's HOLYCHILD's Barbie Nation.
Let's do it.
Why don't you talk about, if you remember, it's been a while now, but like, I haven't heard that song in a minute.
Yes.
It was like, because I listened to your album and I was a
Sick.
fan of it, and like I really hadn't like sat down and like listened to this record in a while. I forgot just how cool it was.
Thank you.
Talk about the writing and where that song came from.
Man, okay, so the writing, I think Liz had the chorus idea first, and she, like, cause there was crazy. We could get hella nerd music. That's a music nerdy ass
I
song.
know. I wrote like, I was like,
There's
all
that-
these like
the
time
time
signature
signatures.
changes.
Talk about
and-
please, please, please.
Yeah.
Like it's like we're going from 4 to 3 to whoever.
Yeah.
But what I loved about it when Liz came to me with this melody, I was like, bro, like this is not in 4, but it feels like 4. It's like one of
Yeah.
those awesome odd times where it's
Yeah.
like you're doing this the whole time,
Like,
but
it's like
it
you're
is-
just like kind of adding a beat every now and then.
Right.
And so it makes it feel
or
like.
drop. I think we drop a beat too, like in
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
chorus. But go ahead, yeah.
No, but your drums make it work.
Okay, awesome.
That's
Sick.
what, like, it is. It's like, it doesn't feel like you get out of the groove because of the choices you made with the drums.
Great.
Like what you did a fill or whatever, you had an extra kick. It was like, oh, this feels natural.
Good. I hope
Yeah.
so. That I mean, like, and it came from this chorus melody that she came to me with,
Right.
and again, yeah, it kind of reminded me of like some like
Does Liz have like any like musical training, or she's just like ridiculous songwriter? Like herself?
She has no, maybe I think she was in choir in high school.
Yeah, but I think that's what happens. Is sometimes like when singers they just like they don't play
Yes.
any instruments.
Yeah.
They're just like, I sang this thing.
Yeah.
And they're just like naturally do this like weird time. It's happened a couple times with people I've worked with where it's like you're singing the thing that's in 7, but like I don't know, it's kind of sick.
It
you know?
reminds me of like some like again like I'm thinking like Thelonious Monk tunes or
Yeah.
like Radiohead tunes
Yeah.
like that are like in these odd times, but you're just I feel like if you're doing this,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck like
Yeah.
if we're in 15 or 4.
Yeah.
So anyways, she came with this chorus melody like that, and I was like, dude, that's actually kind of fucking incredible. And then the rest of the song, oh yeah, dude, this was a while ago. So let
Yeah.
me try to think
Yeah.
back to. I just remember I just went so hard in the production
It
stuff.
sounds like you did.
I
Yeah.
went so hard in the production, but the writing, we were jamming. We used to live in Atwater Village, right around
Oh,
here.
it's right around the corner from
Right
here.
around here. There's an old beater upright piano that I might still have to this
Hmm.
day. And I think we were just jamming on the piano, and then we came up with the rest of the song, starting with that chorus melody
right.
that Liz had. And then the lyrics, dude, the lyrics were like, when Barbie Summer happened, Barbenheimer Summer happened the
Right.
other year, like, I was like, it's great. The lyrics are like they're like that's kind of like the
Right,
movie.
right.
Like
Yep.
it's kind of talking about her role as a woman in society and like
Yeah.
the different expectations of being a woman
I mean,
in
I
this
meant
crazy
what I
society.
said in the intro. Like you guys were like really ahead of the time.
Bro.
I truly believe that.
It's
So,
crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy to like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, I appreciate that, and yeah. So it's just crazy to see how everything's played out since then.
Yeah.
But so that's the song part. Should we move? I
No,
do
because
anything else like
I was curious if it was
yeah.
like, sometimes songs like that, it's like you have the production first, and
Yes.
but it's like cool that it was like
No.
I wouldn't have guessed that she like had the chorus already and you kind
Chorus
of wrote the
melody
song.
first.
Yeah.
I honestly like I'm usually partial to like the chorus melody coming
No,
first.
I am too, but
but
that production is just like so
insane.
like how do you not start with that production?
Right, bro.
It's
Like,
that's
yeah, no, it started on voice and piano, just
yeah.
just jamming on like hella old school like that.
Yeah.
And then maybe it was like the DC influence. We went to college at GW. Maybe it was hanging on DC because it does have like a quasi go-go vibe in it too.
Yeah.
That I never like appreciated until someone from DC was like, "Oh, it's like a go-go track." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like maybe you're right.
Yeah, maybe.
And so yeah, production stuff like I mean like I think like on that album I just go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say like
Yeah.
I think that one of my personal favorite parts besides the drums
Yeah.
is that guitar.
Right.
Like super distorted. Do you like remember like what was going on there?
Yeah,
Or,
so
like,
that's my jam, dude, bro.
Yeah.
Pog V1. I think it was Kian and or Sam Stewart. Gotta shout out the legend, homie Sam Stewart, who has played on he's a guitarist on
Yeah.
Olivia. We works with Nigro Chapel. He's done all the things. I try to have him on as much
stuff. Yeah.
as possible. He's just freaky on guitar like that, which is I also like. I'm gonna take a second on Sam because the guitar's so like I feel like it's so like been done. You
Yeah,
know,
of
it's like how do you
course.
do guitar these days tastefully? This dude somehow figures it out. So I think he was the one who turned me on to the Pog V1,
Yeah.
which is like a pretty like primitive pedal, but it has my favorite sounding fuzz, dude, which is the input gain. When you dime it all the way, it's my favorite fuzz.
It's like it's super trashy in the best way.
It's like really over the top and completely extreme. And so it's probably Pog V1 happening in that, and it's probably guitar. But like what I love about that pedal is that you can run. It's like kind of makes everything sound kind of ambiguous, synthy guitar, and it's not like most of my favorite records like in general and ones that I like to make. I tend towards that kind of ambiguity with shit, drums, guitars, keys, whatever. I feel like it just makes it kind of more interesting. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Right,
Like,
you
I
don't know
don't
what's
know.
happening. You're just reacting. Right?
Yeah. And so that's what I feel like fun about that pedal is that you can like run like a sub 37 through it. Like
Right.
I'll rip fucking sub 37 solos through it. It sounds kind of like a guitar.
Yeah.
And then you can also, it's one of those pedals that I feel like it makes guitars sound synthy in like the most tasty way to me. And it's like, again, it's that if you want that kind of ambiguous synth guitar
Right.
sound.
I love when guitars don't sound like guitars.
Right. There's a time and place. Like,
Right.
I've definitely worked on, like, I sent you that Holy Wars track.
Yep.
That's just like hard rock.
Super rock.
And I can fuck with that too every now and then. But like when it comes to pop and stuff and doing maybe like, I don't know, my own thing. Yeah, yes.
You just want to mess around and do the thing.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was, and maybe it's just like a Holy Child discussion in general, but like Liz's vocal.
Yeah.
What was, for that song and in general, like what was kind of your approach to her vocal recording? Everything was always like, it doesn't sound like there's much tune, if any, especially like when she's like, in the layers and stuff. Everything is, again, it's perfectly sloppy in the best way. Was that intentional? Was that just like you guys just like not really knowing what you were doing at the time? You know?
I mean, I feel like we were shooting for 100%.
Yeah.
We're trying to get as close as we can, but I don't think we weren't trying to do like a T-Pain or like heavy tune thing. We definitely had her on that, most of those tracks on that album, 251 coming in. Probably hitting some nice like LA2A or 1176. This was Kian who's engineering, so
you guys were like able to go into like a proper studio and like, do all the recording. And stuff,
For those tracks, like I maybe had an SM7 home studio setup,
right?
But I feel like we cut a lot of final vocals at Barefoot
right.
recording. And definitely want to like, dude, vocal recording. It's like that's like anything else, but maybe the most sensitive. When we're talking about vibes and stuff, vibes got to be right, or else everything's fucked. You could have a 251 and vibes not right. It's gonna sound like shit. So definitely, I don't know. I feel like a lot of it would usually be me and her, especially in the later days. Maybe Kian was probably there too. And then when it comes to the editing, definitely editing for sure. Like wanting to. Again, we're shooting for 100%, but like we're not. I think we're going like maybe like 95%, like,
Right.
is where
I think if it was 100%, it wouldn't have sounded as cool and raw.
yeah, it's so
You
interesting
know?
too, going back to that because now I edit things a little bit harder. Like
Right.
when I was pulling together these unreleased tracks for the
Right.
deluxe edition, I'm listening to some of the editing stuff, and I'm like, I can't believe I let this slide.
Right.
Like the tuning things,
Right.
like there's some other things like the
Yeah.
instrumental that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, but like maybe it was a different time.
It was a
or-
different time, but I think it's still like I think those kind of quote unquote mistakes
Yeah.
are just like I was talking about it yesterday too with like on like the
Yeah.
Abrams record
Yeah.
where it's like there's like a ton of like what you would say is our mistakes,
Yeah.
but like I don't know, it's like it sounds good.
Right.
It's not overthinking it, and it's like that the blessing of not knowing
Right.
what you're doing, and
Yeah.
it's like, you're just like, well, it sounded good to me 10 years ago. Like
Right.
it should still technically sound good to me now. Like, why am I gonna fuck with that?
Right,
You
right.
know?
Dude, even like Please Please Please, like it's like a relatively raw sounding
Oh
pop
yeah.
record.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what makes it so refreshing, and or I think that also explains, by the way, not to tangent too hard
Yeah.
on this. Well, whatever. I think
Tangents are great.
we're in it. Running Up the Hill. I
Yeah.
feel like that explains a lot of its success. Like I've been a Kate Bush fan for fucking years. I'm
Yeah.
so happy to see it go off like that.
Right.
But I was like, I think there's just like a little bit too much tune and perfection on everything, bro. From architect, my wife's an architect, so
Yeah.
I am a nerd for from the architecture of buildings to the architecture of sound. Is like maybe a little bit too much perfection going
I
on.
know. I think it was like it's my main theory is that the 2010s, everything was so perfect. Like in
Right.
pop music. Right.
Yeah.
It was like EDM was all over the place.
Right.
It was like Katy Perry pop.
Yeah.
Like everything was just like locked in and
Yeah.
perfect. And I think, like music always has ebbs and flows of like rawness and like computers taking
Of
everything
course.
over. And I think currently we're in this like, oh, we want things to be like a little bit less imperfect. And I think listeners are looking for that in a time of AI, in a time of like, we can make everything sound so fucking perfect.
Right.
But like, I don't want my music to sound like it was made for like a kid's show
Right.
where like
Or
there's like
AI slop.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like no one wants that. And I think
Yeah.
at least in pop music, not for sync and whatever.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like,
Yes.
I'm not super worried about AI.
Right. Right.
It's
I know. I know. Well, I don't know. It's such a can of worms.
yeah, no.
But like maybe the only thing I'll say on AI is that like as a fan of fucking music, dude, as
Yeah.
a fan of artists and bands, like I like. I mean, I don't know if this is like too controversial to say, but it's like I kind of like don't care how it's made.
Right.
I'm just a fan of songs, so I am a little bit more agnostic
Right.
to the AI experiment. But like, I want to go to a show and just be blown away.
Yeah.
Like if that's like robots, I'm open to it.
Right.
But like I have a hard time believing, like at least in our lifetime,
Yeah.
that the robots will fully replace humans in this capacity, because I just don't see the robots. Like I feel like
It depends on if they're able to actually have creative thoughts, right? Because all
Right.
it can do right now is
it's just mimic.
it can just
copyright.
mimic things that's already been made. It
For
can't.
sure.
It's never gonna make like what you guys were doing, in my opinion, was like revolutionary. And like,
Thanks.
I don't think AI is gonna like do that next thing.
Right, dude.
You can like it can be prompted. Like I can tell
Right.
like, hey, mix jazz with
Right.
I don't know reggae,
Right.
and like it can shit something out,
sure.
and like maybe that's like the new thing, but like it wasn't its own idea.
Right.
know,
And
and-
also to like launch a project, make it your career, make it your business is such a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these people I see online posting AI experiments or whatever, they're fucking around.
Yeah.
It's like they're just fucking around.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And like me and Holy Child, we were also just fucking around too. But bro, like we were focused. Like we were serious about like you saw that show. Like
yeah.
we were like
you weren't just like putting a prompt in and being like, all right,
No.
cool. Like,
no, we're trying to
Yeah.
like make the best shit we've ever heard in our lives.
yeah,
I mean, we had that kind of like blinding 20s ambition, and like that, in that sense, I'm like maybe again there will be like a gorilla thing that pops up with
Right.
AI, and like I'm open to that. Like that could be cool. Like I kind of like at this rate. I could be totally fucking wrong in 6 months, but in this day and age, sitting here right now, I'm feeling it like it's gonna play out a little bit more like synthesizers, like because synthesizers and drum machines got the same bad rap
oh yeah,
that
for
they're
sure.
gonna replace instruments.
I mean,
And
Pro Tools did too.
Right.
And
And and sitting here right now, I'm feeling kind of like it's just gonna kind of coexist, at least in music. Like it's hard for me to see like wholesale replacement of humans because like to like launch an artist thing,
Yeah.
as I was saying, it's like such a commitment. Like, and if AI is your thing, cool, but like, is everyone gonna fucking? I just don't.
No,
I feel
no.
like the pandemic broke our brains, dude,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely. Did.
Elon's got you know, Elon thinks no, not everyone likes robots as much as Elon. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm into robots a little bit,
No,
but like not like that.
I mean, those communities are already there of like people who love AI music, right? They're
Right.
already there. They'll have their thing. Like, great, you guys can have that. I don't think it's going to be a widespread thing. The AI
Right.
tools that I'm interested
Yeah.
in music, I love the idea. Then they're trying to make it. It's not there yet, but I would love the idea of like a soft sense where I'm like, or just like a sound creator where it's like
Yeah.
I type in, I'm like, I want a piano that sounds like this, or I want like this kind of whatever,
Beautiful.
and it gives me that sound so I can
Yes.
then create with it. Great. I would
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
You know, or even like those are the things I'm excited about. I would love an AI tool that could like, help me. They're getting there, but not that great. Like lower all my breaths, lower all my S's and
I
stuff. Like
know,
it's like
dude.
things like that where it's
Is the
like
vocal like is
right.
vocal line there yet? Like I
Vocal line
used
is
to
very good,
I
but
used to
like
use it a lot, but then like I
it has
don't
a
like how it
sound. Yeah,
sounds.
I think it's like it.
Like,
I only use it where it's like what's it called? If it's in the mix and I can't hear it in the mix,
cool,
I'm
cool.
fine using it. But if I
Yeah.
solo it, like I hear all the, weird things it does. But
Yeah.
if it's like, it's like kind of perfect and perfectly. If I don't notice it in the mix, I'm fine. And
Yeah.
if it's saving me like
It
a
does
bunch
save
of time,
time. I know.
so to me, it's like I always do it and then I trust my ears.
Yeah.
And then basically like this, it's a good kind of side conversation. It's like how I do it. It's easier in Pro Tools, but I can like playlist, like basically I have my not vocal line one in the playlist and my vocal line one there.
Cool, cool.
So if I ever like, if there is a section where it's like, it's fucking up the section, I can just like grab
Cool.
the not
Cool.
vocal line
Yeah,
one
yeah,
and it
yeah.
still saves time and it's like
Yeah.
a way to preserve
Cool.
that. But
I'm just such an you as you like I'm
yeah,
just such a nut with the sound. Like
yeah.
even with my backgrounds, I'm like, I want them to sound good.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
listen, it's a case by case basis. There are
yeah.
times where it's like, I don't want vocal line touching
Right.
any of this, but there are
Right.
times where it's like, okay, I want these to like really be super, super, super fucking tight.
Yeah.
And
Dude, the flex technology and Logic has gone up. I feel like that's one of the best things about Logic in the last few
yeah,
years is that the flex editing
it's gotten a
has
lot
gone a
better.
lot better.
Yeah, I'm like usually when I'm like editing for time, I like moving around the audio as much as I can.
Right, right.
Then I love Melodyne for that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also like Pro Tools has like that elastic pitch
Right.
algorithm in there now, which is basically Ableton's
Right.
made by this company Z-Plane. That's like really, 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 really good. In my
Dope.
opinion, the best one.
Dope. Dope. Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to do Ontari's. I used to draw on Ontari's autotune.
Yeah.
It was more just like whatever was most transparent to me.
Right.
Like and then again, that's where I feel like Logic's gone a lot better. I feel like the transparency's gone a lot
Yeah.
better.
I used to
Right.
hate how Logic's vocal tuning sounded,
Terrible.
but like no,
Terrible.
it's gotten it's
Yeah.
it's getting better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the thing. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this record that hopefully comes out when
Yes.
but it should. Silver Otto's Favorite. Why don't you talk a little bit about how you got involved in that track?
Yes. So that started. It was originally written. We were thinking about for Holy Child. Like
Oh,
it was
okay.
in. Like, it was for the second album. We were writing with Bonnie McKee at her old place at Pulse over in Silver Lake. I think the label must have like set that up. I think that's how we met Bonnie. It was just the label setting it up.
Yeah.
Bonnie's a fucking shit.
Yep.
Have you worked with her before?
No, we've
Uh,
like met at Sona, but
yeah.
and we're both with Pulse. Just one of those things where like she's been on my calendar a couple times, but then like how
Sure,
these things go.
Yeah.
Um,
She's great. She's
yeah.
awesome. I mean, yeah. So with her and her like producer, engineer, partner at the time, Sean. That's why I was like, what's Sean's last name? I don't even know. I'm not sure. But so it was the four of us writing for Holy Child. This song, oh man, like how did that this one started off to, I think, how did it even start off? I think I was just fucking around on like a Mellotron.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I was fucking around on a Tron, came up with like maybe like the intro, and then wanted to get like have a scene change, like relative major key change for the chorus. And
Yeah.
so just did that. And I feel like
I mean, I wrote that and I was like, I just love that. Like, the song takes you on such a huge journey where you start off in minor, and
Right.
then like you're in like this like major place, then like you transition back into it's really, really fucking cool.
Thank you. Yeah. So it was just kind of like it's kind of classic stuff,
Yeah.
like nothing too fancy, but I was just like, we got to go somewhere. Like let's see what happens when the skies part here. And
Right.
so just did that. And then I love working with Bonnie too, because I love her process. She'll do. It's not. I don't know if this is unique to her, but She was the first time I did this. Rather than voice memo, she'll just pass around like a 57
Yeah.
and just record straight, like raw ideas straight in. So I think we just did that, and I'm pretty sure like I'm gonna toot my own horn on the chorus. I think I did like a good amount of that melody.
Yeah.
It was either Liz or Bonnie on the post chorus with that part.
Yeah.
But I feel like I did a good amount, especially the chorus. I was like, I feel like I know where this needs to go right now. The lyrics was Holy Child was a lot of times Liz doing lyrics in general.
Yeah.
But like everything else is
It's super
very
collab.
50-50.
Yeah.
And so I think with that, I think that's how that one went again. And so this was like 2018, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
So you were sitting on it for a little bit.
yeah, no, and I don't know. It didn't make the album for no good reason. It just we were like
It just
fuck,
it happens.
50
yeah.
songs. You know, like it's just like I don't even. That's a whole other can. I'm like that process. Like when like the labels make everybody do that. I'm just like no, stop.
Yep.
Like writers got to start charging day rates. Put limits on this shit, so everyone just is like, there's more. I know it's a whole other can of worms we don't need to get into.
No,
but I'm like, like I was just reading about like I don't know about Morgan Wallen's album or some country album coming out soon where like there's going to be like 20 or 30 tracks on it, and there's like 180 songwriters involved.
Oh yeah, there's so many tracks on that album.
Right.
Yeah, it looks because you can like see in Spotify. Like I saw after his like whole SNL shenanigan.
Right. And I'm like, no, stop. I'm like, I just, I don't know, man. I feel like limits are good. Like, or it's like, and especially in this economy, like we're not to open up the advocacy can of worms, but I'm just like, with songwriters getting screwed over, and all the ways songwriters are getting screwed over, I'm like, yeah, like if songwriters had like, were paid day rates like in film and TV, like you wouldn't have 180 writers on. There's no fucking way they would spend that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I also just don't know if we like need all this content, like, I don't know if we need, like, just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Right. I mean, like, cause now it's like, everyone is just like, well, you can just, we can make records so much faster because of technology. We can just like pump things out. And so, exactly. Like, because we can, should our, like I say it all the time, like I really, I don't want to say hate. I highly dislike when management teams or labels have their artists writing like 5 days a week.
Dude,
and
I've been there, done that. The worst.
Worst. Like my band did it, and it was just like, honestly, it killed. And I'm super glad because like I hated being an artist, but like it killed my artist vibe, where I was just
burns
like,
you out.
I can't do this. Like trying to write for ourselves every day. It's fucking exhausting.
Like giving blood, dude.
Yeah, and it's like you don't get to like live your life and like get things to write about.
Yeah.
Like listen, I'm all for. I'm such a big like. You should be like if you are gonna release a 12-song album, like you want to write like 30, 40 songs, like great.
Yeah,
like I think that's fine, but like within reason. I think you're gonna start killing yourself if you don't.
It's like my threshold is like 30, 40.
Yeah,
that's enough.
Yeah.
If you haven't figured it out by then, stop.
Yeah,
maybe like you shouldn't do this.
Maybe you need to like just not write for a year and then come back and like try again.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much, and it's just like it's the same thing too. It's like you're just wasting. I mean, like, listen, you're wasting a lot of people's time where you're just doing sessions to do sessions and not just like targeting it.
Right.
But the other thing too, and I'm curious, maybe you ended up pitching it out clearly, right?
Right.
But it's like I really dislike when artists are so like not even open to like being like, well, this one might be on the album. And it's like, well, you told me you picked the 12 out of 12. And it's like, why do you want to hold on to this? At least, and some teams are weird about it. I don't understand why. Where I'm just like, just let me pitch this out.
Yeah, I know.
And like, if you want to say no to like who's ever pitch, who wants to take it, great. That just say no. But like, at least like, let me see what can happen with it. Because like so many of like my biggest songs were pitches that like we wrote for the artist in the room. Yeah. And then like, we pitched it out and like, it just worked out. And
I just like because like every time I do sesh, like I'm trying to make the best fucking song record. I'm swinging for the fences every fucking time. Yeah. And so like, you don't always get there every time, but like either way, like even if you hit a double or triple, you're like, well, like if someone else like this is still a double, triple is pretty fucking good. Yeah. Like, can we find someone else to cut this and bring it on home? Because like we're so fucking close. This feel like So Favorite was one of those tracks. Yeah. Where it was like. And I think when you write, going back to the tangent I got on, when you get to 50 plus songs, it gets just lost in the sauce.
There's just so many, and you're just like, I don't even know what's good anymore.
Like the label, like we went through like 3 or 4 A&Rs too. It's just like a mess, bro. And so like, And so like this song was like one of those casualties of just like, and so then when I was working with this amazing hyperpop artist, Silver Otto, this song, I don't know, I just like, I don't know how it came up in my Dropbox or something. Like I just stumbled upon it. And I was like, yo, wait, this is fucking fire. Like, why hasn't this found a home?
Dude, speaking of that, so
Yeah,
this is like a little quick tangent,
hit
but
it.
like I will like every 6 to 12 months,
Yeah,
I will go through every single fucking record I've made because I
great.
have it all on like my disco now,
Yeah,
and it's like, man, there are some records that I'm like, this one's still
still
good,
slaps, dude.
and like
Yeah,
because there's new artists coming up, it's like, ooh, maybe this would be good for this new artist that I just work with.
love it.
You know, I
Love
think
it.
it's like I love that like again we're talking about Benny, but like Benny was talking about that Maroon 5 song Animal, where like they
Right.
had it for 8 years.
Right, right, right. I saw the clip
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. Right.
And it's like, yeah, I think it's like so important where it's like you don't have to give up on a record just because like no one's taken it in a
I
couple
know.
years.
I know.
It's
I know. I've been in that camp where
yeah.
some people get weird about it. I'm like, yo, like, and especially when people you don't have to do any like all you have
Mm.
to do is accept your like publishing and like call it a
Right.
day.
You have
Like,
to do especially as a songwriter, you
yeah,
have to do nothing.
nothing here.
Nothing but sign a piece of paper,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know?
Yeah. So,
It,
but so yeah, that's the story. So the story of favorite started with Bonnie. I always felt like it was fire. Started working with this guy, Silver Otto, who's incredible. And I just pitched it. I was like,
yeah.
"Yo, like I feel like you'd sound great singing this." And so he loved it. Had to find a whole new key though, because he's a dude.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's what I noticed when you sent me the demo. I was like,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
this is
That's
like
why I was like, maybe
yeah,
this could be interesting because
yeah,
it's definitely a different, like it's produced out. And number one, the
yeah,
number two is definitely a different key.
yeah,
And that obviously that's part of the process when
yeah.
when you're finding new homes is like,
Well, let me ask you
yeah,
something
yeah,
because
yeah,
this is something that I try and tell producers and songwriters should do. Where it's like, yes, I know Silver Otto isn't like this huge artist yet, where
yes,
it's like you're like whatever, but how do you like to approach? Like, what was your approach to like being like, hey man, like I know you like I don't know if he writes his own stuff a lot of the time or right,
yeah.
but it's like what was that like what do you say to an artist when you're trying to pitch them something?
Good question. I just feel like, hey, I feel like you'd be a good fit,
Yeah,
like for this track. Are you interested?
yeah.
That's it.
I think it's
Yeah.
keeping it as casual as possible because
Yeah.
I've done it only I haven't done it too often.
Sure, sure.
But there's a couple times where it's like even bigger artists where like it's such a scary thing. I hate doing it
Yeah.
because like it's I would say it's like a little kid. It's like look, I made this picture for you. Do
Just
you like
a
it?
little bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And but I think that's the best way where it's just like send them a text, be like, hey, like I had this record. Like I think you'd sound sick on it.
Yeah. No it's
Look,
I
no
don't
pressure,
no pressure.
no pressure.
I just like I'm just trying to
Yeah,
trust my instincts.
yeah.
I
And
know
like
your style. I'm
right,
hearing this.
right.
Maybe.
Like, let me know, and, like,
Whatever.
honestly, like, I'm it's, like, 50% of the time, they're like, "Yeah, like, let me come over and, like, cut it, like, let me
Yeah.
see how I
I know.
sound."
I know. 50% of the time it does work
Yeah,
out, which is
right.
why and again, like when you making as many tracks as we do every fucking
Yep.
weekday, and I'm sure you're like me, like you give everything to everything. It's
Mhm.
like I don't believe in like letting it just rot and or lie dormant. When it feels like a dormant volcano. It's like, come
Yes.
on, like let it
Letting it ride
explode, dude.
and it's also I think too, like, people get so stuck behind their publishers and their management, like, wanting them to do it all, and, like, yes, you should have them do a lot of it because you can't be known as, like, the person that's like, "I send records out all the time to all of my
Sure.
artist friends." You have to be really
Yeah,
specific
of course,
about it,
of
but, like,
course.
not doing it and not taking those honestly horribly scary swings
Yeah.
is, like, it's gonna
I usually
potentially
build up a rapport.
yes.
So,
Yes.
to get more in how it came out with
Yeah, yeah.
Silver Otto, I think I'd already done like 2 or 3 tracks with him.
Right, right, you were already in
We
there
already built a
doing
rapport. So
yes.
it's usually not gonna be my first swing
Right.
with an artist. Like I'm not gonna send it to them, but I will like, when I'm doing sessions, I'll usually like every other session I do, I'll have like instrumentals cooked up, whether it's like fresh or
Yeah,
whether they're just like from other sessions. And I'm
yeah.
like, this track is going nowhere with this artist. Like, are you interested in doing like it's almost like I don't want to like say it's like having a body shop with like a car, but it's like it's kind of like
No,
there's parts
yeah.
of this vehicle that are great. Can we combine? Can we Frankenstein with this?
Yeah,
And
it's like,
I feel
"Hey,
like it
I think I"
happens.
right, it's like, "I had this great hook that I wrote in
Yeah.
this session or with this artist, like, do you think you could, like, wanna take a shot, like, messing with it?"
Right. Or
And
we can use this as a vehicle to go somewhere else. Like who
yeah,
knows?
I think sometimes I'm curious your take on this, but I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes people get, like, icky about it only because and I think that they're wrong to, but they're, like, now thinking about splits.
That I have run into that and I'm with you. I'm just like I usually with the tracks that come from other sessions, it's like usually with people that I know that are reasonable.
Right.
So I'm like, they're gonna be fucking chill with like
Right.
even if we replace the entire top line. Like I've come into this a couple times recently where two different sessions, two different artists and situations where the entire top line changes, but it started in a different session. So I'm like,
Right.
guys, like we really I'm in the philosophy of like let's just offer like at least 5,
Right.
maybe
Right.
10%.
Right.
Even if melodies, lyrics completely different, they were there at the creation
Right.
of
Right.
this song and record. And you know, everyone has different thresholds. That's my threshold of just like
Yeah.
throw I'd
I
rather like cross that bridge than have it come out and then they're like, you know, then open up that can of worms where they're
right.
like,
I just get mad when like people like they're preemptively being
yeah.
like this could be a problem
No,
as
fuck that,
opposed to
bro.
just like guys like it's better to have like some percentage of a song that comes out than like all the percentage of the song that never comes out.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk
Like,
about it.
yeah, it's just like a
Like,
thing I always get like so
and
frustrated with.
it's cart before the horse.
Yeah,
Let's
right,
let's make the
right,
best song and record possible,
right.
and these are like champagne problems.
Yeah, no, they really
Like,
and, like,
let's
it's the
like
same thing with, like, being a producer
yeah,
where it's, like, so many producers are so protective over their fee,
y
and it's like, I get that, like, money is hard to come by, but like, if I can I'm, like, now so much more open to being like, "Hey, Louie's great with drums. I
yeah,
like, my drums on this record right now are not good. Like,
yeah,
let's bring it to Louie to, like, see if he
yeah,
can, like,
dude.
put some sauce on it." You know what
Div
I mean?
It's
I
division of labor.
and, like,
Yeah.
and, like, you look at, like, why, like, some of these huge records have, like, 3 or 4 producers, and I think it's because it's guys like, guys and gals like that, where they're like
It's
they
kinda like new bands.
right,
Like, back in the
right,
day, we were bands,
right.
and now we like fuckers like us that can, like, kinda do everything kinda well, like,
No,
sorta well,
producers are
decent,
expected to be one-man bands and
one-man
just
bands.
do everything, and it's
But, like, we still know, like, again, division of labor, like,
right.
we still have our specialties that we, like, thrive in,
Yeah.
and yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm starting to, like, be so much more open to that, like, one,
Love
because it's like,
that.
I just, like, I don't have the time I used to,
Yeah.
now having a
I
family, but,
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
and it's like, 2, it's like, my ego is basically gone at this point,
Yeah.
and, like, I know my weaknesses. I know, like, I'm such a songwriter first. I'm a songwriter
Oh,
first,
yeah.
and, like, in a session, I am, like, in there
Yes.
songwriting, like, producing a little bit,
Yeah.
and I just, like, know now when I'm like, this like, I should give this to someone else to finish or like,
Yes.
co-produce with this person and, like, make it better, and then, like, yeah, maybe I'm splitting that fee in half now, but, like, hopefully the idea being is that, like, because I collaborated with you, this will make more money in the back end,
Yeah, dude,
and
and
then,
the
like, that difference in fee is, like
it's negligible.
right, it's negligible, and so it's,
Yeah.
it is what it
Yeah,
is.
I definitely we were talking about Larry David briefly
Yes.
before, and I've gotten to become friends with his personal assistant, and so I get kinda like insight on the making of
Yeah, I
Curb a little bit,
love
and I think it's probably fine if I talk I think this is not they're probably fine if I talk about this,
yeah.
but their writing process and Larry's writing process for the show is just let the best idea win,
Yeah, I mean,
and which
that's
is not novel, but, like,
no.
even if it's the fucking, you know, janitor down the hall, if
Right.
he's got dope idea, we're running with that,
Yeah.
like, and, I loved hearing that because that's been my philosophy from
That's been my
maybe the
philosophy. Yeah.
jump, but, like, especially in the last several years, it's like, best idea win. I don't give a fuck, like,
It's easier
who
as you
comes up with
get,
it.
like, as you've been doing and you get some success to, like, be like that because
Right.
it's like it was really listen, I'm human, like, when I first came out here, I was, like, also trying to prove myself and I was trying to get
Sure.
my ideas heard,
Sure, sure.
and now it's like I always say it's like, "I don't care if I wrote the whole song, I don't care if I wrote
Yeah.
nothing."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I know that, like, part of being a really great producer and songwriter is understanding what the best idea is
Yeah.
and being like, "You're on something,"
I think
or
dude, just being a fan of music.
yeah,
I hate to be, like, cliche about it, but
yeah,
it's just like, you're like me, we're just
yeah,
fans, like,
yeah.
I just want the best stuff I can jam to.
Dude, I
Again, if it's AI, I'm open to it.
yeah,
If it does replace us all, we're gonna have to get like some fucking whatever
yeah,
UBI going on or
yeah,
something. But we'll
just
cross the bridge when we get
yeah,
there. For here and
one day at a
now,
time.
like again, let the best idea win.
Yeah,
If it's your like our wives that don't
yeah,
work in music and they
right,
got a dope idea, let's
like,
fucking
right,
run with it. Who
right.
cares?
Dude, and, like, that's the thing, it's like, there are some people who, like, they want to, like, control the room,
Ooh,
and it's like, and, like, they wanna be the best in the room, and I'm like, I love being in a room where I am, like, the least talented.
yeah,
It's, like, so
it's
inspiring to me, and it's
it's
just, like
nice.
and then it also, like, when I know I'm the least talented in the room and, like, I do something and they're all like, "That's fucking great." It's like, oh
Yeah.
man, talk about ego. Like that's an ego
Yeah.
boost.
No,
You
for
know,
sure.
just like, and that's why I came out to LA. It's like you come to cities like this where like everyone's so talented and you want to work with the best.
Yeah, you were
You know?
just there's no the biggest fish in the pond here are the biggest fish in the world.
Yeah.
And
And
so like we're all just another fucking dude doing our thing.
yeah,
I definitely like love that because yeah, that was like probably the limitation of coming up in the Oakland Bay area and then in DC when I started Holy Child was
yeah.
just like I was like these are after coming down here with my high school band working with Matt Rad and getting exposed to the LA world, I was like, oh, this is the big leagues.
Yeah.
Like what's going on here, and sky's the limit. And you really have to keep your ego in check because
Yeah.
there's just too many talented people that are nice to work with that you don't have to settle with the fucking
Yep.
assholes.
No, no, yeah, exactly.
So
Assholes don't have long careers. I don't care what anyone
yeah,
says. They absolutely
yeah.
do not. You know, I want to go on to our next little topic here because
All
I'm
right.
taking up too
I
much of your time here.
I know. Yeah.
So next thing I want to talk about is what's a current plugin, piece of gear, instrument, something that you've either had for a long time, something you got recently, but what's really inspiring you lately, like, that you keep going back to?
This is such a that's a good question. Oh my god, well, this is great. This is
Yeah,
I don't have many opportunities to nerd
yeah.
out like this. So
We, we, we love it.
this is nice. Such basic things in my world. I told you about the new computer. So
Yeah,
basic. So,
but
but honestly, like having it feels like getting a new car, kind of like it's like,
it's
bro,
having a
like
good
I'm
computer
your
makes you work
yeah,
better.
it makes you work better. Like
Yeah.
everything's I felt just like gone faster. I like there was
Did,
some the iOS my iOS wasn't totally up to date. So then of course the plugins and some of
yeah,
the soft synths aren't hanging in there. And so I was just like, you know what, like whatever was maybe torrented before from back in
yeah.
the day, fuck that. We're
No,
it's nice
everything
to
has to
have
be legit. It's
yeah,
like,
it's nice to have the privilege now where you can buy
yeah.
everything and like let's like level up everything and just have everything like work. And the new tech is like there's so much awesome new tech
Oh,
in the box.
it's so
It like
good.
never
Did
ends.
you have before this Mac Mini? Did you have one of those piece of shit like 2017, 2018 MacBooks?
I had the 2018 Mac Mini.
Okay,
That
okay.
was
That was
honestly
better.
not bad.
Yeah. No, those Mac Minis were really good.
Yeah.
I had like so many people like those like 2017, 2018. Like
Ooh.
it was like those MacBooks that had like the touchpad thing on
Yeah.
top
Oh
that just like
God. R.I.P. Good riddance.
they were such pieces
Yeah.
of garbage, and like
Yeah.
I had so much trouble on that like I was, you know, I'm on all the Mac threads and whatever.
Right.
And like when they announced the M1, I'm like, the second that's coming out, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And the second it came out, I bought it, and it was
Yes.
the best thing. It was just like the biggest time saver.
Yeah.
So I tell people too, it's like as a producer, it's like the laptop is the thing you are on by far the most.
But it's your console. It's a
It
console.
is your console, and
Yeah.
it's like even if you have to go into a little bit of credit card debt, it's like
Yeah.
I think having a really powerful computer
Yeah.
that you know will last you a couple years
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
is
Yeah.
so important. And like
So
don't be stupid.
yeah.
Get the whatever the Apple Care
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
this is your job.
Yeah.
You can't.
Dude. Oh man, I appreciate
Yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
it's
absolutely,
it's
all
like
that shit.
you need to. It's like
Yes.
so much. It's like this, especially when you're doing other people's music as a
Yeah.
producer.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
it's like your own artist project, you want to fuck around and find out.
No, no,
Fuck around
no,
and
no.
find
You're
out.
right. I
That's
love that.
fine.
No,
But
yeah. God, I don't know. Yeah, okay. This is great. I'm like, I love the education I'm getting here.
no, but it's
This is good.
true. It's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you need those things, and it's like luckily, like I've never had to use my Apple Care, but I know
yeah,
buddies that it's like their laptop took a shit or like they broke their screen or they broke
yeah,
whatever, and they were like, "Fuck,"
yeah. You
you
know what's
know.
really nice about the Mac Mini is that it's just the new one's fucking so
It's so
small
small you can bring it around.
and
Yeah,
it's so powerful. And what I love about it too, because I came up in laptop world,
yeah,
and actually what I love is that it. I've been really into like work life balance
yes,
since I turned
yes,
30, and I like that. It's like just in my studio,
yep,
like, and I put in my 8 hours during the week,
and
and if
then
someone wants some, I mean, I'm pretty cutthroat about it. In the evenings and weekends, I'm
you feel
like,
like,
good luck
yeah,
getting a hold of me. Like,
after that,
yeah, like
yeah.
I need my recharge time.
No,
So
I'm the same way. I've gotten really good about boundaries where like someone's like, they'll hit me up at 7, 8 o'clock at night. They're like, "Hey, like, can you send this to me?" It's like, I can tomorrow.
yeah, and you have kids too, so that's even
Yeah,
more of an excuse. But
yeah.
I'm not there yet.
No, but
But
I was doing it before kids.
good,
It was just
good.
like a way where it's like I was like I need to like not always be music obsessed. Like when I first came out here, I was like working,
12-hour days,
yeah, God knows how long.
365 days
And
a
I'll
year.
still do those days when I'm like
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
to,
right.
but it's like the fact that I don't do them every day is
Yeah,
when I have to do them. It's just like Okay, I can
Yeah.
do them
You
and
can
like not feel
you still we
crazy.
still the muscle's still there, but I think again, having a fast computer, like, it's also like, I don't like how I can get from point A to point B, like, when I
So
get
much
back to my
faster.
studio first thing in the morning, I'll get it to you, we'll be good, like,
Yeah, I
you
can bounce
life
things.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. I
but here, let me tell you a
do
little
it.
bit more about
Yeah.
gear stuff. So, just while we're
On
while
it.
I'm still here. Okay, finally, I'm doing the deeper dive with the Spitfire Labs stuff.
Dude,
That shit's, like,
it's
so
so
good. And so my
good.
old Mac Mini, like, just wasn't powerful enough to, like, handle
Yeah,
it to its fullest, so, like, the
yeah.
new one now is just, like, I can load, like, the biggest fucking files, soft synths and samples and whatever, and it's, like, totally fine.
The Labs sounds are so good.
Labs is great.
I
Labs
paid for the subscription because it's so
yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely,
absolutely worth
absolutely.
it. I'm like, they're such inspiring
Oh
sounds.
my
Yeah,
god.
no one's really using it, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah, it was my, like, 14-year-old cousin. I produced some of they go by they, them.
yeah,
I produced some of their stuff, and they're fucking brilliant. They're, like,
yeah,
going to college now. They should totally pursue music at some
yeah.
point. They turned me on to Spitfire Labs, like, a few years ago, and I was
Well,
like,
I've been using it for years, but like how it used to work was it was such a piece of shit.
maybe was that why I stopped
Yes,
using it? Was
it's
like,
because the sounds were good, but it was like crashing all the
it was
time. It would
crashing. I thought
always
it was my
lose.
computer.
It would
Okay.
yeah, it would always lose. Like they're like we can't find the
Ah,
folder, and it's like it's in the same
right,
place. It's been the
right.
whole fucking time.
Okay.
And so
They've leveled
they
up.
recently updated the
Right.
entire interface and
Yeah.
how it works, and it's so much better.
Labs is great, and then
Yeah,
I got a shout out to finally getting around to Soothe too, like,
yeah, it's
and it's great. It's
yeah.
like I'm like, why haven't I been doing this? And then also the fucking that guy updated the Sound Radix auto line
Oh yeah,
for
auto.
drums, which is
Yeah.
like obviously another no brainer. I'm like,
Are you
what?
on auto line two?
Too,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh god, isn't it? Did you
it's
ever use
great.
one?
A little bit, and I was just like, like I stopped
It was
using it.
good, but it's like it was a real pain in the
It's
ass
kind of a pain in the ass,
to do it. And auto line two, it like it just does it now.
dude, and it's great. It's so especially again doing live drums. It's like
Yes.
no brainer.
Yeah.
And it's like so nice that we're talking about AI, like AI for shit like this.
Yes.
And again, when it comes,
Yes.
I'm still waiting for that auto align vibe for vocals and editing
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I haven't. If you come across that plugin,
I've worked with I've worked with Isotope a little bit. I
yeah,
helped them like come up with their not I don't say come up, but
yeah,
like I helped them develop a little bit the vocal leveler and the Nectar
okay,
plugin, like
okay,
their
sick,
vocal one.
yeah, yeah,
That one's very good.
okay, dope,
And then there's this like other one that like I don't know, I stopped talking with them, but they were like basically it was like what I was talking about where like it'll
yeah,
look at the audio file,
breaths,
it'll like lower down the breaths, lower down the
yes,
S's,
so,
like vocal clip gaining is my
yeah.
go-to. Although clip gaining in Melodyne is so good.
It is, yeah, it's
It's
solid too.
it's
I
like
know.
it's
I should. Man, I'm just a free. I'll just usually go shit by hand in automation, bro. Just do that
I
stuff by
will for the main
hand.
vocal, but for like
Yeah, but
now
for yeah,
now what I'm doing now it's like
mm,
I've actually recently changed it. For all my backgrounds, I just like I find like 50-60% of like lower volume and raise volume
yeah,
is great now because Pro Tools has like ARA Melodyne
cool.
where it's
Oh
just
yeah,
like, oh, you could just like load it. It takes 2 seconds to do. It's
great,
beautiful.
great.
So I do that for like all my backgrounds where it's like
Yeah,
cool. They're instantly just like
yeah,
great. And for my lead vocal, I'll either won't do it or I'll
yeah.
do it like 20-30% as like a start.
Cool.
And then
Yeah,
I'll still go in
I'm going.
and clip gain after.
Oh damn, I like this.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's kind of, but like,
Yeah,
dude, for backgrounds, it's like, it's incredible.
yeah,
I like really don't use, I am recording it with compression, but like, I
yeah,
don't put compressors on my background vocals anymore. I
yeah. That's
just do the
probably
vocal clip
smart.
gaining.
That's
And
probably smart.
well, just I can do it so fast now
Yeah,
with Meltdown and ARA. It's
dope,
like literally the click of a button. Like I have to record it all in,
dope.
so it's
Love it.
so much better.
That's cool. But yeah, that's stuff like that. And then the last thing on gear is I finally upgraded my hi-hats to just fucking Zildjian Master
Yeah,
sound,
there
just a
you go. That's
classic
a big
case.
move.
And
Yeah.
they're great. They're like no egg. They're not like
Hi hats are arguably the most important part of the live drum sound because you
ooh,
can always sample replace the kick and snare, but the
yes.
hi hat is like that's the thing you usually want to keep.
And it's like it can make or break we all know the hi-hat bleed.
Yep, a shitty hi hat can ruin a
Woo.
drum.
Like
So
your snare
easily.
and kick and sound just amazing, and then the
Yeah,
hi-hat's just like
there.
nasty poking through. I had some decent hats before, but I was just like, I just need to get like some like really good like versatile
Yeah.
hats that like can work for a lot of different styles. And so of
Yeah.
course the Master Sounds handle.
All right, I'm gonna move on to our
Let's do it.
last little segment here before we let you go. This is called Plug or Unplug. For you or first time listeners, this is where I'm gonna give you a plug-in, a piece of gear, instrument, whatever.
Yeah.
And you give me plug if it's something you really like,
Yeah.
unplug if it's not for you,
Yeah.
or bypass, make inactive if you haven't had the pleasure of using it yet.
Okay. Hit it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very simple. We'll start with, curious because you're a drum guy, if you use these guys at all, but probably not because you have a real drum set. XLN Addictive Drums 2.
Oh man, I'll bypass and plug.
Okay.
Like usually because I know my shit, I don't
Right.
have to, but I have used it and I like it.
Yeah, I just started using it recently. I was
Yeah.
big on Superior Drummer for a while,
Yes.
and I still love Superior Drummer.
Cool.
But I like Addictive Drums. They've gotten really good. It's like, I think the difference between the two is like Addictive Drummer is like, it immediately sounds good.
Right.
And Superior Drummer, you have to, it's like more like classic drums where it's like the raw sounds are so much better.
Right.
But you can really go in and shape them to how you
Cool.
want.
Yeah.
And they're just really, really, really great.
Dope.
Next plugin. Curious if you ever used this one. It's kind of a random plugin. Audio Things Texture.
Bypass.
Yeah, just a weird plugin. It does exactly what you think it does.
Cool.
Just adds weird textures,
Cool.
and it's like Audio Thing. They're a fun little company. They make
Sweet.
like kind of weird plugins that for like not super expensive.
So I've been on like
Yeah.
the utility kick of late, like as I mentioned with my plugins, like
Yeah,
the Sooth 2s, the Auto Aligns, like I've been like, dude, these utility plugins are so dope. Like, but I'm like re-entering my like fun,
yeah, like
weird,
fun.
quirky plugins.
Yeah.
So
This one I just found out about yesterday because I was speaking of mix with the masters. I was watching the Benny Blanco
yeah.
and Phineas one that they just did for the Selena Gomez record. This crazy plugin called, it's by Z-Plane, called Peel.
A bypass.
Yeah, it's like a, here, I'm gonna look up
Yeah.
and explain because I literally just got it yesterday because
Sick.
yeah, here it goes. Like Peel isolates individual instruments or vocals in stereo so you can solo, mute, or route the audio for external processing. But like it does this thing where it's
Ooh.
like it like can also like filter it out and and like it
Wow.
degrades it in a fun way. And it was
Wow.
$30, I think. So I was like, all right, like that's like
Oh, cool.
that's about where I want it.
That almost
do
sounds
it.
really dope for also like remixing or if you're like DJing stuff.
Yeah,
Like, that sounds like
yeah.
that'd be
It's
awesome.
it's a really cool plugin. Curious if you've used this one. I've been going weird on the plugins lately. There's just like
Yeah.
I don't know if they're a new plugin company, but have you ever heard of this plugin company called Audio Punks?
A bypass again. Like,
No, so I'll tell you the exact
yeah,
plugin.
yeah,
They only make 3 plugins right now.
okay.
But they have this plugin that I've been obsessed with. I just got the trial. I think I'm gonna buy it and pull the
Okay.
trigger. It's called the Great British Spring.
Oh, cool. It sounds promising.
It's a spring reverb,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
but it sounds really good.
Sweet.
It's really
That's
good.
important too, because
Yeah.
if you don't have like somewhere where you can do a spring, even though
Yeah.
springs are a little bit easier to do.
Yeah,
But like having a good, I usually just do the UA
the AKG.
AKG. I feel like
Yeah.
that one's like pretty nice
That
too.
one- this one is better in my opinion.
Nice.
It's like you should try it out. There's a
Sick.
free trial, 15-day
God.
free trial.
Audio punks.
Yeah, Audio Punks. They make 2 other plugins and
Cool.
like
Peel
think I
audio
might-
punks. Tight.
yeah, I just might buy them all because they're all really good.
I'm just trying to remember all these. These sound great.
Yeah. Well,
Hell
you'll
yeah.
hear it when I send you the episode.
Yeah.
Next plugin we ask on every plug or unplug because we
Yeah.
get very funny responses back.
Yeah.
CLA vocals.
Oh man. I used to plug back in the day.
Yeah, of course.
Unplug now, but you know, whatever. Again, whatever you got to do to get there. I
Yeah.
won't judge, but yeah, when I was coming up, I was even just like waves in general. Like it's so funny. I don't use that. I don't use that many waves anymore. Like,
Yeah.
but it was so funny when I was coming up. When we were coming up, like that was like
Waves.
it.
I go back and forth on waves.
Yeah.
But like some of their newer plugins they've been making
Okay.
are really good.
Educate me.
Yeah, like the what's it called? Oh my god, the Black Beauty thing that
Ooh.
they make. I don't know. Most if you look at any of like their recent plugins,
Okay.
they're like really usable. They have like their own version of Soothe now.
Cool.
That's like really good.
Dope.
It does a slightly different thing.
Yeah.
But it's like good. I'm forgetting what it's called.
Dope.
But I don't know, man. Like I just like I'm on the Wave subscription thing.
Yeah.
And so I just like I have all their plugins.
Yeah.
It's because I co-produce enough where it's like I just want to have everything, especially
Yeah.
with Waves. And they're like
Yeah.
my vibe on plugins subscriptions is that I'm happy to do it as long as you're releasing new plugins enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as
Yeah.
long as you're releasing new plugins every like couple months, I'm happy and like I feel like it's worth it.
That makes sense.
And they do,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
to
yeah.
give them credit. All right, last plugin
Hit it.
for you is one that it's a pretty widely used plugin. Although this one maybe not so much, but I'm curious if you've used at least the older versions of it. But Isotopes Trash 3.
Oh man, back in the day.
Yeah.
That is that kind of like Fab Filter Saturn? Is that
Yeah, it's a distortion
It's a
plugin.
distortion.
Yeah.
I think like I would always go towards more of the Sound Toys and Fab Saturn.
Yeah.
And I remember Trash was there, and they've obviously updated Trash
Yeah,
too.
this new Trash is really good.
Okay, dude. I mean, Isotope's incredible.
Yeah, they're really, really good. This
Yeah,
new Trash, it's like, to me, it's not like I find Decapitator and Saturn can be both like, I'm trying to make something sound crazy, but I mostly use them as like utility saturation. And this is like Trash is like, I'm just trying to fuck something up
cool.
and like stumble upon something. You know, just like kind of clicking through the presets and being like, what does this do to the sound? And like,
when you want that more extreme.
Yeah, it's because it's so wild.
Love
like,
it.
The things that it's doing. It's really, really, but it can also be subtle.
Yeah,
I just like don't reach for it for that.
Love it.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna wrap it here, but before we've been wrapping the plugin, we've been asking our guests, what's a small piece of advice that you would love to give your younger self, and i.e. our younger producers listening? What's something you wish you knew back then?
Great question. Maybe, I mean, the first thing that just came to my mind was you don't have to do the OG Kanye work life balance, i.e. no life, just work, spend your life 12 hours a day in the studio. I mean, maybe there's a time and place for that, but it's like, if looking back at it, like I was not healthy. I was like, my metabolism is very high, so I was like eating like 2 meals a day. I was also doing a lot of touring and stuff, and so the lifestyle was just like punishing, and I was doing it to myself. I didn't have those boundaries established, and I just, Kanye, when we were coming up, was like pre-Nazi Kanye, and he was a dope producer, and he lived in the studio when he wasn't doing anything else, and I just saw that. I was like, oh, that's like what people do.
That's what you're supposed to do,
and I don't think that is like what you need to do. Like
what I'm learning with that piece of advice is that like that works for some people.
Right.
Do you know my good buddy David Arkwright?
Name's familiar.
Maybe. I did Build a Bitch with him.
Nice.
He's like that, but he's just wired differently.
Right.
That guy is working all the time.
I know there's some people like
this.
And
it's like he's just like that, and it works for him.
Yeah.
And I think it's like that advice. It's like I used to be like that too, but I've learned like very similar to you, where it's like, this ain't for me. I'm like not doing my best work.
I burnt out, the quality, diminishing returns kicks in.
Right.
And then I'm like, when I come back fresh, recharged, like I'm just like, my ears are just working better. Everything's working better.
You have better ideas. You're not like, like out of ideas. I love bringing a small idea into sessions. And like when I'm doing too many or working too hard, it's like I can't bring in that. Yeah, it's like I got nothing.
Right.
Yeah, dude, I really love that advice. I think it's really relevant. But we're going to end the podcast here. I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to come and talk.
Thank you. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, thank you. And look out if it's already not already out, the 10-year anniversry.
It should be out.
I'm excited to check out those songs myself. So I was a fan.
Man,
yeah,
it's fun. It's like, I don't know. Maybe we should talk off a whole other can of worms. Is like, I've been talking about this with friends because it is 10 years, and when I think about 2015, I go back. I'm like, okay, 2015. Then I think about 10 years prior to that. Yeah. And like, you were really nice in the intro, like saying how the record was ahead of its time or whatever. But I'm also like, well, maybe like it was a little bit ahead of its time. Where it has like music just like not like music culture, technology just not changed in those 10 years as much as, because when I look back 2005 to 2015.
Oh, so yeah.
And like, and I think again, it's the culture, it's the technology, it's everything kind of changing a lot. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe we were just ahead of our time, but I think
really think it was that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it's like you listen, like you look at like the popular music, it's like from 10 years ago and 10 years, but it's different.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think I truly believe that.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah. Because like when pulling together these like extra tracks, I'm like, it's still like, feels like it could come out tomorrow. And so I've been talking with some friends again, other producer friends, that like this more philosophical question on like culture, like in like the last 10 years, like is it moving as fast as it was in 2005? It's a whole separate.
That's
we didn't even
another
get into
podcast.
advocacy or anything too.
I know. I wanted to, but we're already
we're done.
over time.
We got it.
We'll have to. I don't know if I told you about our roundtables that we're doing. Like we'll get you on for one of those, and we're gonna talk about advocacy.
I love to plug SONA, and
we love them.
You know how I feel about unionizing and everything. Exactly. Like so.
Yeah. Well, we can end there. Everyone. Yes. Join SONA. And you want to make more money as a songwriter. I think you got to spend a little bit of money and donate and pay membership fees to
SONA.
It's
the most promising vehicle.
Yep. We both believe that. We're both involved in SONA. But we're gonna wrap here, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you to our listeners.
Thank you,
guys. Thanks for tuning in to Producer Points. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed this episode, Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and share with fellow music enthusiasts. For an encore, check out our Spotify playlist featuring all the songs we've discussed on the show, giving you the perfect soundtrack to your creative journey. Additional audio and video editing for this episode was done by Nathan Rebello. Until next time, this is Justin Gamella.